first of all, I want to thank Michael and Kathy for hosting this event. Through each other's eyes, it's wonderful that we have such great members who have great homes for parties, and so therefore we don't have to pay the additional money for all the restaurant meals and everything, you know.
Yeah,
So anyway, thank you so much, Kathy and Michael, for this.
yes.
I wanted to have,
Kathy and Michael.
this is really our 25th anniversary party, and we hung the exhibit in City Hall on Tuesday. It's up there, it looks beautiful. And yeah, Pete's got to get in here. Pete and I are. There you go. So the exhibit will go through the 28th, and then it'll go to Art Intersection, and then it'll go to Shemer. But what I want to say, just briefly, and then I told Pete that he has to say something, that it's hard to imagine. It was 26 years ago tonight that Pete and I set up the exhibit at the Bank One Concourse, and it was February 21st in 1988. And as I recall, we were there till like 2 a.m. I don't know where all you people were, but you weren't there helping us. So those of you that are setting up exhibits now and you have people that can come, it was just Pete and I. I think Carolyn was there.
I came to the exhibit.
Michael Mertz.
Remember Michael Mertz? He wasn't even a member of the organization yet. But
he was there helping. But it seemed to be all night. We set that exhibit up, and then the next night, on the 22nd, we had the very first opening and reception for the exhibit. And then Pete and I and our wives. His wife was different then. My wife is the same. We went to the. I'm sorry about that. What was it? The top. The Hyatt Regency.
We went to
what's called? The Compass Room at the Hyatt Regency, and so we had our dinner, and I bought a new suit. For that event, and I don't think I could wear it today, but anyway. But that was 26 years ago, and it's hard to imagine what has happened since then. And all of you people became a part of our lives, and we had these great exchanges all over the world, and it's really changed. Certainly changed my life. It's changed all of our lives. I think all of us that are a part of this organization were not the same person that we were before we came in. And it goes back to that one exhibit, the meeting. I mean, there's so many different parts that we could talk about. Doug Wilson of Feeding Sister Cities, who gave us the name through each other's eyes, who came up with the idea, who got the funding. I mean, that's those of us that we do exposure. He somehow got the funding for this very first show, and then kept the funding going for a number of years until we could get out on our own. So anyway, I'm just grateful for what we've done in 25 years, and grateful for all of you.
You're here.
Okay. And now Pete.
he said it all, so. It was. We never thought it was going to become what it has, because we thought it was going to be a one-time deal and it's over with and off. Go lead your life. But Doug stepped out of the picture. He offered us the chance to keep it going. Of course, we wanted to. I mean, it was such a great opportunity. It was such a I don't know. It was such a big new thing in my life that there's no way we could have walked away from it. So we decided to try and keep it going, and we were reminiscing about how it all started. And I was working at Arizona Highways, and Errol and Doug Wilson came to Arizona Highways to meet with me and Hugh Harrelson, the publisher of Arizona Highways, to suggest some photographers that they could select to send to Japan. And so we said, well, let's meet back here in 2 weeks, and Pete will put together a list, and we'll meet. So we come back in 2 weeks, and I've got my list, and Doug says, well, what's it going to be? And I said, well, I've got this list of photographers, but I kind of like to go myself. And Errol says, well, yeah, I'd like to go too. So I was like, the list went in the wastebasket. The rest is history.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was purely, we were flying by the seat of our pants. There was no plan, really.
Oh, no.
Even when we got to Japan, there was no plan.
And not only that, but we get to Japan and we meet with City Hall, and they said, we have photographers for you to interview that will come to Phoenix.
They wanted us to pick
Well,
the
we just
Japanese
wanted to go out and
photographers.
take pictures, but so now we interview. So they had 3 photographers, and the first 2 were elderly gentlemen, and then our good friend Mr. Kitamura, who passed away last year. And so, well, Kitamura, I mean, obviously he was the choice.
Why did you choose him over the other 2?
We didn't,
His portfolio was
His
much
portfolio
stronger.
was
We
great.
wanted him,
but he
He
refused.
deferred. He had to defer to the older
To the older
Japanese
photographers. See,
way, you know.
and we didn't know what to do. We didn't want to be, but we said, well, Mr. Kitamura has to be one, and I don't know if we chose another. And he said, oh no. Well, he told us, oh, I can't. I must defer to my colleagues. And of course, then he came the next year with Bob and Don.
He just happened to be my exchange partner.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, when we
they
talk,
had their act together when we got there.
Yeah.
well, when we
Next
talk
year.
about our history, you know, Pete and I, we seem to have, there was this young upstart photographer with the Phoenix City Hall that was on our, he was after us all the time about getting a chance to go to Japan. And so Bob became the second photographer that went with Don Stevenson. You know, and
Actually,
You mean 3rd or 4th?
I have a
of
different
the third,
version on
well,
that.
the second group of
To
photographers.
kind of put this into a time context, Errol and I were down in the concourse of the Valley Bank Center, checking out the space, figuring out how we're going to set up our photo exhibit, and Bill Bidwell walks out of the bank and with his bow tie, you know, there's Bill Bidwell walking through. He was setting up the groundwork for bringing the Cardinals to Arizona.
They weren't here yet.
Yeah,
That's how
they
long
weren't
ago
here
it
yet.
was. You know.
It was a long time ago.
Marilyn, can you handle that machine?
Yeah, well, I can.
Oh!
Thanks to you, Eric. Okay, it wasn't on was the problem. Let's
Oh.
try that.
Must be on now.
Yeah, it must be.
Okay.
Bob, do you have something?
Oh,
here?
my version of it is that these guys came, did their exhibit, it was wonderful, and we heard about all their pitfalls. And Doug Wilson came to me and said, would you like to go to Japan? Well, of course. I mean, well, do you have anybody who'd like to go with you? And I thought, And I just kind of was getting to know Don Stevenson, and he turned out to be my travel partner. And he's probably in Mexico today, but anyway.
I later traveled with Don to Scotland on an exchange
yeah.
too. So
And I went with Don to Mexico in 1998. So we did. Well, anyway, we could tell stories forever, but let's go back to the party. But I thought we kind of needed this little interlude to put this in perspective. And I want to thank each of you that came out here. And it's so good to see Ken again. It's hard to imagine that he's now in LA and not here. So thank you for coming. Thank you all, and don't leave. It's just this is the end of the ceremony, right? Okay.
Come by.
Yeah. Viva through each other's eyes.
25 Years of Through Each Other's Eyes, a Cultural Retrospective, is the title of a 77-print photo exhibit, which is now on display at the Phoenix City Hall atrium and 2 more Valley locations this spring. Errol Zimmerman is co-founder and has served as president of Through Each Other's Eyes for the past 25 years. Errol will be stepping down as president, and Through Each Other's Eyes would like to thank him for his vision and passion leading Through Each Other's Eyes for the past 25 years. Presenting the thank you award to Errol Zimmerman is Through Each Other's Eyes board member and associate photographer Bob Rink.
You don't know what it took to get Errol here. So, Errol, on behalf of Through Each Other's Eyes, thank you very much.
This is a great honor, and it was unexpected. And had I expected it, I would have prepared a great speech in Nihongo for you. but since I don't. But I want to thank, first of all, Paula from Sister Cities, because we started our program with the help of the Phoenix Sister Cities Commission. And they helped us for many years. Now we're our own independent nonprofit. But please see the retrospective exhibit in City Hall, and it'll move to Gilbert at Art Intersection, and then it'll move to the Sheemer Gallery. And I hope you all get a chance to see it. Thank you very much.